In this video, I'm going to share with you a real-time testimonial of how somebody overcame cancer while unconsciously using the law of attraction. You are definitely not going to want to miss this, so stick around. Here we go. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell notification for future videos on the law of attraction to get your well-being at its optimum. Also, check out my Facebook and Instagram page at Divine Alchemy 1111, where I help you create the reality that you want. And now, back to the video. Hello, and welcome to Divine Alchemy, where I help you create the reality that you want. My name is Jason, and thank you very much for joining me. So today we're going to talk about using the law of attraction to help overcome either a chronic condition or enforce a healing with your body. And now when it comes to law of attraction, it's not just about manifesting wealth and having a lot of material things. You can also use the law of attraction to manifest a healing, or what doctors would call a spontaneous remission. And with some of the work that I've studied under Dr. Joe Dispenza, I highly suggest you check out some of this material, because he actually has real-time testimonials of people overcoming themselves and their conditions of insane healings, like when it comes to cancer or tumors, autoimmune deficiencies, and the list just goes on and on and on. And also another good reference too that also has a lot of amazing testimonials is the work of Neville Goddard and Dr. Joseph Murphy. So again, there's a lot of great techniques out there, and when people have a tendency to try this stuff out, they'll kind of lose faith within this process because they're like, does this stuff actually work? Is it wishful thinking? So that's why I highly suggest you actually look up real-time testimonials of people that are actually manifesting their wealth and, more importantly, their health. Because if your body is running optimal mentally, your brain running mentally at an optimal speed, with a lot of positive reinforcement, your body starts to act more in an optimal state because you're secreting more of the positive hormones in your body, which actually reverse the conditions of aging or dramatically slow it down. Because a body that's heavily stressed, well, you're secreting the hormones in your body that are not very good for you, and then you start creating the aging process, which actually starts messing up and degenerating your telomeres on your DNA, which basically start to shorten. Your body starts producing cheaper proteins because your body is nothing more than a protein producing machine. And once it starts doing that, the body can have a tendency to deteriorate faster and even start to shut down due to stress inducement. So with one of the stories that I was really impacted with, especially when I was studying this stuff to begin, I needed some form of concrete proof that, if you are programming your subconscious mind in the right manner, can you overcome conditions beyond yourself or manifest the life that you want? So the story I want to share with you is from a man called Stomatas Morietis from the Greek island of Ikaria, and hopefully I said his name right. So just basically a quick, brief summary of him. He was, back in the 70s, diagnosed with cancer. And the doctors are like, yeah, you have about 6 to 9 months to live. And since he was living in the US, at that time, he didn't want to spend all this money on a funeral and whatnot because it was very costly for him. So he basically had the epiphany, hey, I'm going to go back to my original homeland of Ikaria on one of the Greek islands over there, and spend time in nature, his family, and also his vineyard, and also making his own homemade wine. So it's like, if I'm going to die, I'm going to die happy. So he starts putting himself in an environment where he just basically, and I believe unconsciously, he didn't know what he was doing, but obviously doing the right things to where he's getting out of himself, he's putting himself in the now, and he is working in his wine garden or his vineyard, spending time with friends and family around there, and really being in the moment. And of course, it was just a progressive state, because when you're diagnosed with such, ailment, I'm sure at first it's quite a shock. So again, he starts getting out of himself and had the epiphany saying, hey, if I'm going to die, I might as well die happy. So he's just doing his thing. And the next thing you know, he started to feel better. It was like, I feel better than ever, more and more as the day went on. So he just kept doing his thing. And the thing that he probably didn't realize with what he was doing is that when you're putting positivity in your subconscious mind, you're secreting the positive hormones to help upregulate your system. And that when you are, for example, people could have a condition where they're going to go and fight matter with matter. So if you have an autoimmune deficiency or cancer, for example, you have the tumor, which is a matter object. It's a physical object. And then people will try to eat certain things or take pills and medication, which are definitely a very good thing for sure. But however, what Dr. Joe Dispenza says is that by doing so, you're going matter to matter. You need to go from matter to energy. And then when you're thinking with your subconscious mind, you start to think of the event ahead of the actual timing of when it's going to happen. So you're thinking of your best future self. And so when you're doing that, you're using your subconscious mind to lock on to a future possibility in the quantum field of infinite possibilities. So you are literally manipulating energy with your mind, and that hence the term mind over matter. So going back to Stamatis, hopefully I said his name right, he was getting out of himself, really being in the moment, and within doing those things, he probably even didn't care that he had the cancer condition. I believe it was lung cancer. Probably didn't even care at that point, because he's getting out of himself. He's like, if I'm going to die happy, fine. And then he started noticing that he was feeling better and better and better. And I believe this was in his 60s, I think early to mid 60s when he was diagnosed with this stuff. And then, so long story short, he got so out of himself that he ended up living to the ripe old age of either 98 or 102. So, and again, that's a very incredible, I would say, healing of biblical proportions. Because if you're in the right environment and you don't judge your condition and you just look at it as a neutral thing without any emotion, your body can, in fact, and from a lot of the testimonials that I've seen of spontaneous remissions or insane healings, that you can overcome this stuff. But however, it's all a matter of you programming it in your subconscious mind and if it will believe it. So he was unconsciously working the law of attraction. And the thing too is that the law of attraction never stops. It is constantly working either with you or against you, but it is your choice. Because if you're thinking nothing but negative stuff, if you're feeling like a victim or victimization mentality, well, you are going to get exactly what you were thinking in direct proportion. Now, if you are thinking from an empowered state, a very strong standpoint and positive standpoint, which it's a practice. Just like you practice feeling negative unconsciously, you practice being positive. And then you can, in fact, and it is very possible to reverse the conditions of something that you are dealing with. And so that story really blew me away of how powerful the mind can be if you feed it the right things, put it in the right environment. Now, I'm not saying to go ahead and just meditate and this stuff is going to go away. Absolutely not. Go seek medical help to get a diagnosis and all that good stuff. But positive mindset and thinking of the future reality of what you want to be and making it concrete and here definitely works and has a higher probability of helping your body out as a whole and also your reality in general. And also, too, I highly suggest, that you eat good, healthy foods and whatnot. And the fact that Stamatis was talking about he would drink his homemade wine, 2-3 cups a day. And I'm sure that also had an effect on it, too, because it's all natural stuff. And especially from that area, there's a lot of nutrient dense foods and teas that he was also drinking as well too, that did have a great impact on his health. But from multiple doctors, I believe, saying that you had 6 to 9 months or something along those lines to live and to overcome that stuff and actually outlive the doctors that gave him his diagnosis is quite impressive. And so basically he lived for an extra 40 years after his diagnosis of cancer. And I was like, whoa, that's incredible. So again, the whole thing with, it is literally mind over matter, because you are using your mind to link to energy to get over that matter. And just like Einstein said, is that you can't fix a problem at the same level of mind or consciousness. You have to rise above it, and then that's where you start looking at things from a different light and where you start overcoming your odds or obstacles. And I don't look at obstacles as anything that's bad. It's meant to help you, take you out of your comfort zone, because when you get out of your comfort zone, you're coming here and it's like, all right, well, how do I overcome it? Well, I need to raise my mental vibration by doing either these meditations or making a shift in my mindset so I can promote more healthy attributes in my body. So I just found that to be very incredible. And I've also heard, other stories too, where people are surviving plane crashes and the doctor's saying, you're never going to walk again. And then the guy was saying, watch me come. I think it was either Christmas. I'm walking out of these doors. Whether you say it or not, the man had a collapsed lung. His whole body was basically smashed to pieces, within his bone structure. And lo and behold, he just kept envisioning in his mind and listening to the little guy in his mind or in his heart, which is your intuition, to either breathe deeply, because his lungs were collapsed. He got his lung function back properly, and then lo and behold, he's walking out of the hospital, and the doctors are completely dumbfounded, like, what is going on here? So again, if you are going through a hard time, I highly suggest to look up concrete testimonials of people overcoming themselves of a supposed incurable ailment, and that would definitely help solidify in your mind that yes, this stuff works, and to give you more faith in the process. So also, I have an excellent meditation to help your well-being and your to help you manifest abundance, or to even promote more of a abundant mindset. So you start looking at everything as infinite opportunity. It's in the link above right here. It's a 30-day meditation, and all you have to do is just sleep. You don't even have to listen to it intentionally. Sleep and listen to the words as it starts to crystallize in your subconscious mind, because it's always running. It never stops. So it's imperative to be aware of what we're thinking, how we're thinking about ourselves, and especially in these times right now, this is the perfect time to practice these principles. And so in my last video that I posted, there's a 4-step manifestation process. Very simple, very easy. I highly suggest you check it out. To also let me know the results of what you get. You could comment them in the links below, and by doing so, it also helps other people out by confirming that, if you put your mind to it, you can definitely manifest the reality that you want. So again, if you like this video, please hit the like, share, and subscribe button, and also the bell notification to get future notifications on videos of the law of attraction and how to manifest your reality that you wish to desire. So again, thank you very much, and blessings.